Good afternoon, students. I think you are all happy and had your breakfast and waiting for the next delicious lunch, it seems, I hope. Before that, as we have started our studying, learning about one of the story, a lesson of Jomo Kenyatta, that is the gentleman of the jungle. And now we have arrived to a juncture where we have or know what is it about. Who are the gentlemen of the jungle? And the irony that he used, or the satire that was used by Kenyatta here, makes us feel interesting as we go on reading the lesson called Gentlemen of the Jungle here. Okay, students, we have seen how these animals or Europeans in reality exploit the very land, the motherland of Kikuyu, the people of Kenya, and in each and every aspect of their life. Politically they are exploited. Economically, they are exploited. They have grabbed, snatched, used, and looted, exploited the complete land of the Kenyan people or the African people as such. The Europeans have completely invaded, exploited almost all the countries of African continent here. As we see here, Kenyatta, a politician, a literary figure, a social legend, worker, a leader of their tribal communities, their community, working for the upliftment of people of Kenya, economically, socially, educationally, as such. So this is what his intention here. He wants the Europeans to go out of their country, that is Kenya. That is the thing. Why he is writing, why he uses the concept of satire, irony, sarcasm. Okay, got it? He can directly oppose the very rule of Europeans because they are powerful in arms and ammunition, in economy, in almost all the science and development they are good in science and development, and technically they are advanced. And they are all educated, literates. That is why they came all along from Europe to the African nations here. So, yesterday's class we have seen how the commission was formed and how elephant comes, and elephant was given the first chance to his case or to speak in front of the commission of inquiry here. And we feel really very bad when he complains, when he says that it is the man who has gone wrong, who has gone misunderstanding, who has completely understood in a wrong way. So this was said by Mr. Elephant, one of the ministers of the jungle here. He says, in my friend's own interest, I have occupied it. I considered it necessary to protect the hut of the man which was going to spoil by the hurricane, the torrential rainfall, the thunderstorm. So I protected. He came to me and requested that, please protect my heart. Come and protect me. Is it right? No, not at all. It is not right as such. It is wrong. It is completely a lie. What delivered by the elephant in front of the commission of inquiry here. Isn't it? So now, see here, we'll go back a little bit to yesterday's class here. I consider it necessary in my friend's own interest to turn the undeveloped space to a more economic use by sitting in it myself, a duty which any of you would undoubtedly have performed with equal readiness in similar circumstances. See here. So stay now. What can the people, other people can see here? Yes? No, nothing can be said here. Yes. So coming to here, so it was going to be wasted, it was going to be, what became a victim of the rainfall, and it was undeveloped space, waste space, and I have made it more economic, by sitting in it when it was raining. So this is the case or speech, okay, delivered by elephant in front of the commission of inquiry here. Then, what happens in further, you see, after hearing the Reverend Honorable Mr. Elephant's conclusive evidence, the commission called Mr. Hainaw and other elders of the jungle, who all supported what Mr. Elephant had said. Yes. What is it? Reverend Honorable Mr. Elephant, after its evidence, its speech, it put its case in front of the commission of inquiry. The commission called Mr. Aina and other elders of the jungle, so other participants, other people from their side, that is animals, so the commission called them, yes, and they were all in support of the elephant here. Okay, see here, what you have to think is, the important one is the commission of inquiry. What? Of inquiry, yes. Then who are all the participants here, and here Mr. Elephant, as it is given more importance, we will put it at first, and first he delivers, he discusses, he explains what exactly happened with man, between man and himself, and now here the second man, so he is the man here, and every animal in the forest or in the commission of inquiry have supported what Mr. Elephant has delivered here. So they said that Whatever Mr. Elephant had said, they then called the man. Okay, now see, listen. After hearing this, the Reverend Honorable Mr. Elephant's conclusive evidence, the commission called Mr. Hyena and other elders of the jungle, who all supported what Mr. Elephant had said. And they then called the man, who began to give his own account of the dispute. But the commission cut him short, saying, "My good man, please confine yourself to relevant issues. We have already heard the circumstances from various unbiased sources. All we wish you to tell us is whether the underdeveloped space in your heart was occupied by anyone else before Mr. Elephant assumed his position." Yes. See, of course, they have given him a chance, called his name, and when the man came and he wanted to speak, he wanted to give the complete account of the dispute which happened between Elephant and the man here, but they stopped in between and said, "See, Mr. Man, my dear good man, please confine yourself to relevant issues. Don't say or talk lies, because all the important and relevant issues, happenings, information, we have got it from Mr. Elephant as well as other various unbiased sources. So we don't want you to waste our precious time here. So confine yourself to the right things. So rest, we all know what it happened as such." So this is the thing that was interrupted by the Commission of Inquiry. All we wish you to tell us is, see, they asked the question, what? Tell us, the undeveloped space in your heart was, whether the underdeveloped space in your heart was occupied by anyone else before the elephant. Assume this. Only he has to answer the question, as we have in our PU board exam. So we have to answer to the question, not to the poem or to the lesson here, theme or summary as such. So what is the question? This is the question. So the answer must be to the question. Means if the question is what's your name, you should say my name's Damappa. You should not say my name's Damappa, my father is so and so, my mother is so and so, I have born in this place, my native place is this. No, all those things are not asked here, because you have a written in question in front of you and it says this, and you have to say, reply to this in an exact manner. In the same way, see, they say that only you have to say yes or no. It is yes. No other animal came there and occupied before the elephant. It is the elephant came first to the man and requested to provide a space to protect in his hut here. And they say that the space inside the hut was undeveloped. And I don't know how elephant has made it as an developed one. Yes. ಅದು ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಳ್ಳು ತಗ್ಗು ಕಲ್ಲು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ವೇನೋ ಆ ಗುಡಿಸಲಲ್ಲಿ, ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ವೇನೋ ಬಹುಶಃ, ಅಥವಾ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಏನೋ ಆಗಿತ್ತೇನೋ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಉಪಯುಕ್ತವಾದಂಥ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೋ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಕಸ ಗುಡ್ದು ಬಡ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಹಸನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೋ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟು ಗುಡ್ಸಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ. ಸಿ ದೇ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್, ಬಟ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಸೇ yes or no here. So the answer is yes here, because no other animal has occupied the man's hut before elephant here. Now see, the man began to say, see, he was trying, he was afraid, he was nervous, totally. Why? Because the gathering over there was of animals, the Europeans, and the stage of the commission was filled with these European leaders or the animals. Where else man can discuss or give an account of the issue freely, courageously, without nervous? Now it's not possible. See how they interrupt him. The man began to say, he was supposed to, started to say his issue here. No, some animal came in between. Stop. No, but. Began to say, no, but. But at this point, the commission declared that they had heard sufficient evidence from both sides and retired to consider their decision. Yes. It was not delivered. He has not given any account of the issue at all. The event happened between elephant and this. And his injustice that was caused by elephant to man here. But the commission, they came when he was, Todultaida, he was, finding the words, searching for the words to begin his speech here. So they stopped in between and they say the commission already declared that they had heard sufficient evidence from both the sides and retired to consider that their decision, after enjoying a delicious meal at the expense of the Reverend Honorable Mr. Elephant, they reached their verdict, called the man and declared as follows. Yes. So the responsibility of forming the commission was given to elephant by the king of the jungle, that is lion. So in order to form the committee and select the members of the commission, what did elephant favor these people? It has arranged or given them a delicious party, a dinner party. Yes. And after that, they have discussed earlier before the commission, discussion in the commission, and they have already wrote their judgment, a decision, declaration before the commission itself. And it is for just namesake that they have arranged or appointed the commission of inquiry here, because in order to see that the people will feel that there is a justice, that they are doing right. Why? Because these people are not aware. Who? The Kikus, the people of Kenya. They are backward, economically, politically, socially, they are backward. So no development in any field, science, technology, discoveries as such. And even there is no education also, illiterate people completely, and no awareness what is happening in the world. And they don't know what these Europeans have come for. And why they are there in their countries, and why they are implementing all these things on us. No, they don't know, so they have to agree and they are going to sign the treaties. The waste, useless treaties, pacts, laws and commissions were signed by these people, innocent people here. See, their decision, the declaration is this. In our opinion, this dispute has arisen. See, nam prakara, ee dispute hege bantu antandre. In our opinion, this dispute has arisen through a regrettable misunderstanding due to the backwardness of your ideas. Backwardness of your ideas. Who? Man's backwardness of your ideas. They say, how did they treat these people? Imagine. And in what way they will get, the people of Kenya will get the justice from these people. Profit from these animals of the jungle are so-called the European exploiters, debtors. This is not possible, isn't it? At the outside, when we read it, we can imagine or guess what is the intention of these Europeans here, isn't it? Why they don't want man to utter here, speak here? Because he may speak the exact things, the real things, what happened earlier, and draw his attention to words. And he may think that I was given preference. The treaty says nowhere they should allow these people to come to limelight. They should be treated as slaves. They have to exploit them. They should not have any room to think critically about their laws and treaties as such. So they wanted them to be slaves under their rule and to them also. That is what the intention of the Europeans, the intention of all the animals in the jungle as such. Then, in our opinion, this dispute has arisen through a regrettable misunderstanding due to the backwardness of your ideas. Regrettable means mistaken, that is misunderstanding, a very sad, a very great, a huge misunderstanding due to the backwardness of his ideas. The commission says, and this is a declaration, whatever they have done in their judgment after the commission. Maybe they have decided and talked all their thing while having the delicious food arranged by Mr. Elephant here. Yes. Then we consider that, see the argument or judgment here, we consider that Mr. Elephant has fulfilled his sacred duty of protecting your interests. Mr. Elephant has fulfilled his sacred duty of protecting, see here, sacred duty of protecting your hut, protecting your interests, he says. See how they rule, how they manipulate things, how they exploit these innocent people of America here. Sacred duty of protecting your interest. Who? The elephant has tried to do this in favor of the man, they say. What did he say? We consider that Mr. Elephant has fulfilled his sacred duty of protecting your interests, as it is clearly for your good that the space should be put to its most economic use. And as you yourself have not yet reached the stage of expansion which would enable you to fill it, we consider it necessary to arrange a compromise to suit both the parties, that is, Mr. Elephant shall continue his occupation of your hut, but we give you, the man, we give you permission to look for a site where you can build another hut more suited to your needs, and we will see that you are all well protected. You are well protected. So this is the judgment. This is the decision of the Commission of Inquiry. See how justice it is, or how injustice it is against the man who has nothing to do with it, and by his hard work, by his pain, he has constructed the hut in order to protect himself or to live after much hard work, after much taking risks and painful things. He finally constructed the hut, but then when it was ready, in the difficult times, the elephant comes forcefully, peacefully, with an idea, with a good words, politely. It spoke very good words with man, and just gets the permission to put its trunk inside, and it completely occupies the whole hut by throwing the man outside his hut only. And he says, they see, anyhow, it is just that, it is correct that the elephant, the Commission of Inquiry has decided that the undeveloped space was made as the more economical. And we consider it necessary to arrange a compromise to suit both parties. Confusion. So we have come to a decision now. So which is justice to both of you, and which suits both of you. Mr. Elephant shall continue his occupation of your hut. Okay, for decision 1. So it is declares the Commission of Inquiry that Mr. Elephant shall have to continue his occupation of your hut, but we will give you a special permission to look for a site where you can build another hut more suitable to your needs, and we will see that you are all protected well. Yes, did you observe the judgment of the Commission of Inquiry here? The justice of the Commission of Inquiry here? And did you think of the plight and position or the situation where the man is in at present? Yes? Think about it. How these Europeans were treating the native inhabitants of the place where they have landed in there. Yes? Is there anything that man has to do with fight with these people? No, not at all. Did he have any power to fight back, to go against the verdict of Commission of Inquiry? No, not at all. He has to agree. He has constructed the hut beautifully, and it was strong, spacious for him. See how elephant has occupied the hut means it is spacious, it is comfortable, isn't it? With all hard work, pain, difficulties, he has constructed a hut. But now it goes to elephant by the verdict, declaration, judgment of the Commission of Inquiry here. And they see they have given some land permitted to construct new hut in the forest. So he has to take off, clear off the trees, the forest trees, use things, shrubs, everything, and trees he has to clean off. He has to work hard to clean the thing, and he has to collect all the wood and the materials which required to construct hut once again. Whose land is this to give him a site on his own motherland? Who is this man, these animals, to give them, spare them a place in their own mother country? Now, Nirgatikaru, Europeans are the people. ನಿರ್ಗತಿಕರಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವ್ರ ನೆಲದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವ್ರ ನೆಲನೇ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಂಚ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್. How the imperialistic way of administration of these Europeans in Kenya. Then continuing, look at the next paragraph. The man, having no alternative and fearing that his refusal might expose him to the teeth and claws of members of the commission, did as they suggested. But no sooner had he built another hut than Mr. Rhinoceros charged in with his horn lowered and ordered the man to quit. Yes, he's agreed because he has no other work to do, because he has no power, energy, strength, knowledge, education, awareness, everything to talk against the verdict of the commission of inquiry here. He has to agree, and he has to go to the new place, and he has to construct a new hut and live. But what happens, as he builds new hut, see, mattonu gudsu kattane papa, jivana ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು, he has to live. For his survival, he has to construct a hut, build a hut. So he built. No sooner he built a new hut, Mr. Rhinoceros came and occupied forcefully the newly built hut and ordered the man to quit the hut. See the exploitation. The limit of exploitation of these Europeans on these innocent, powerless, illiterate, uneducated people like Kiku. Then see what happens here. Again, the same procedures as they have appointed a commission of inquiry for the first case, that is between Mr. Elephant and Man. So the same continued here. A royal commission was again appointed to look into the matter, and the same finding was given. Yes, it's the same. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಅವರು ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಇವನು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇವನು ಕಟ್ಟೋದು ಬಿಡೋ ಹಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಡಿಸಿಷನು, ಅದೇ ವರ್ಡಿಕ್ಟ್. Yes, and the same finding was given. This procedure was repeated until Mr. Buffalo, Mr. Leopard, Mr. Aina, and the rest were all accommodated with new huts. Then the man decided that he must adopt an effective method of protection, since commissions of inquiry did not seem to be of any use to him. Yes. What happens? Again he built new hut after Rhinoceros occupied his hut. Then all the animals, buffalo, leopard, hyena, one by one, as he goes on building the new huts, they came on and occupied forcibly the new huts built by this man. And then the man decided, He has a serious thinking. So he was thinking and he was searching for a new idea to control this, to put an end of this kind of exploitation by Europeans against the Africans here, Kenyans here. Then see what happens. He has to think about the new method, effective method to protect himself from the commission of inquiry. And it did not seem to be of any use to him. Which one? The commission of inquiry. There is no use of it for man. Isn't it? So then, what happens, you see, he sat down and said, NG enda di degaga motegi. It is a Kikyu language, of course. We are not familiar with this, but you ಓದಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಓದಬೇಕು, spelling ಹೇಗಿದೆ. So we have to read it as it is, okay, as the spellings words are there given in our textbook. See, which means literally the meaning is given here, which literally means there is nothing that treads on the earth that cannot be trapped. Or in other words, you can fool people for a time, for one time, but not forever, isn't it? See, every year we practice, celebrate April Fool on April 1st. How many times you fool someone? One time or two times maybe, but you cannot fool after that, isn't it? In the same manner, so he sat alone and think about the new idea, the creative idea to put an end to this rule, and thought and came up with a new idea that there is nothing that treads on the earth that cannot be trapped. ಸೊ ಈ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹದ್ದು, ಬದುಕ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹದ್ದನ್ನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ವಶಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಾಶಪಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರಿಂದಲೂ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಅದರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್, in simpler words or expression, he has put, the Kenyatta here, you can fool people for one time but not forever. Yes, ಒಂದು ಸಲ ನೀನು ಅವನನ್ನು ಮೂರ್ಖನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ವಿನಾ, ಹೇ ದೆವ್ವ ಬಂತು, there is a ghost ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ next time again you will say ghost comes, nobody will get fear because it is lie. Even if it comes, oh, why you are standing here in the same place? So you are not going out from it. There is no harm in it to run or to get afraid again and again here. So you can fool anybody, any person for once, but one time, but you cannot repeatedly do or fool him. Then, okay, how many times they are going to occupy the huts built by man here? Till that, no. Can he bear? No. ತಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವನ ಕೈಲಿ, ಕಟ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಜೀವನ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಇವ್ರು ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತ ಬರ್ತಾ ಅದೇ ಒಂದಿದ? ನೋ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್. Then early one morning, when the huts already occupied by the jungle lords, yes, early one morning when the huts already occupied by the jungle lords were all beginning to decay and fall to pieces, he went out and built a bigger and better hut a little distance away. Yes, the idea is this here. Okay, every animal, every hut occupied by these animals before were all decaying. ಆಗಲೇ ಬಿದ್ದು ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವು, ಆಗಲೇ ಸೊ ನಶಿಸಿ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವು, ಹಳೇದಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವು ಅವು. ಸೊ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು, so they fall to pieces, beginning to decay and fall to pieces. But he gone out of that particular space, somewhere distant place, a little bit farther, and there he built a big, spacious hut. Okay, so the idea is this, you see here, built a big and better hut a little distance away from these huts. No sooner had Mr. Rhinoceros seen it than he came rushing in, only to find that Mr. Elephant was already inside, sound asleep. Mr. Leopard next came in at the window. Mr. Lion, Mr. Fox and Mr. Buffalo entered the doors, while Mr. Hyena hauled for a place in the shade, and Mr. Alligator basked on the roof. Yes, see. ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ idea. The idea was beautiful, interesting, isn't it? Meaningful here. This is the way you have to mend the people. You have to teach them a lesson. Otherwise, they don't. Because he has no power. He has no any weapon with him to shoot at them. And the strength, he can't do it because he is uneducated. He has no power. He is a poor man. Isn't it? How can he go against like that? No. But this is the idea, this is the creativeness of this man, which was taught by the pains, difficulties that he experienced under the rule of these animals, means Europeans here. Finally, he came up with a very good idea here. As soon as he builds the hut, so he came out, and all the animals, elephant, rhinoceros, one by one, they run to occupy this newly built, spacious, beautiful hut. So as one by one enters into the hut, they saw the other friends of them, they have already occupied the space inside the hut. Then what happens? So all the animals are inside the hut. Now there is a huge argument there, heated argument there. They are grumbling, quarreling each other that this earth belongs to me. I was the first person to enter, animal to enter into the hut, so it belongs to me. No, like that. I am chairman, I am secretary, I am king of the animal, I am this one, that one, like that. So they started to quarrel. Then see what happens here. Presently they all began disputing about their rights of penetration, and from disputing they came to fighting. And while they were all embroiled together, the man set the hut on fire and burnt it to the ground, jungle lords and all. Then he went home saying, peace is costly, but it's worth the expense, and lived happily ever after. See, at the end, what happens here? This is a lesson, a very good lesson taught by an innocent, illiterate, poor man, a lonely man. One man against such a mighty army of Europe. The army of Europe was used with full weapons, powerful weapons, arms and ammunitions. And they are well educated. And they know all the ways as how to exploit the people, how to grab their lands, properties and other valuable materials from them forcefully by creating the meaningless, useless treaties, commissions, laws as such. They told them that we are going to educate you. They told them that we are going to improve your lifestyle. Okay, we will give you education. We will give you money. we will give you job, we will make your land develop land. So in the name of all these things, they started exploiting these people. So meanwhile, when all the animals entered into a hut, newly built hut, so hence there was a heat, argument and a quarrel on the penetration of these people into the hut here. As they go on quarrel, the man thought that, because that is his idea, then gone to the hut and he just lit the hut onto fire, and the whole hut was burned to the ground, and the animals, jungle lords, every lords and other animals are also burnt in that fire along with the hut. So that was a complete full stop or a stop for the exploitation of these lords of the jungle, animals of the jungle. Literally, the other side, Europeans. Finally, when they get independent from the clutches of Europeans, maybe in the year 1963 it may be, it is the time period when the Kenyans got freedom from Europeans, when Jomo Kenyatta became the first Prime Minister of independent Kenya during 1963 to 64. Again, his presidential rule of Kenya began in the year 1964. Jomo Kenyatta became the first president of independent Kenya, and he ruled Kenya till his death, that is till 1978, as a president of Kenya. Imagine about his contribution, sacrifice to the betterment of the people of Kenya. Kikus, the other way, they are also called as Kikus. So he has struggled a lot to improve the condition of life of his people. He wanted to bring them up, develop politically, economically, socially, and even religiously also, because they don't want to convert into Christianity here. So that is what the institute. And why has he put this aggressive treatment or written document against these Europeans or these exploiters into a written mode here? Because he can't go against opposite of these imperial lords or Europeans, since they are very powerful with the arms and ammunition, science and technology as such. So here you can relate the man is nothing but Kenyatta here. He has no power to go against the European rule. He is innocent. He has no energy, strength to compete with the so-called Europeans. Yes. Europeans, isn't it? He is against these Europeans here. He can't. So, intelligently, literally, he wanted them to read his writings and understand the inner feeling of every people, every man from Kenya. They want them to leave their country. They wanted to send them outside their country. So that is what the intention of the people of Kenya here. So he says, see, at last he coins or gives us a very great line of full of meaning. The man, after firing, set fire to the hut and they burnt. The people, all the animals were burnt in the fire. He went home peacefully, calmly, happily and said, peace is costly. Peace is costly, but it's worth the expense. So you cannot expense easily. The expense to expense peace, it is more worth. It is more costlier. It's more cheap value. So, what is it say? And lived happily forever. So what is the meaning here? Who is maintaining peace and tranquility in the kingdom? It is the man himself in reality. Because he is quite often, he was quite often be calm and never opposed, gone against the imperialistic rule of Europeans. So he is quite calm, peaceful. So he is maintaining peace and tranquility in this one. Whereas these animals of the jungle, they are roaring, they are arguing, they are telling that there should not be any disturbance to peace and tranquility of the country here. So you might have recall the beginning of the lesson, how the lion came roaring and says the people wants the people, isn't it? They just speak the words that you have to be peaceful, you have to maintain tranquility in the country, you should not oppose us because we are learned, educated, we have come from so much of a long place in order to make your life better, in order to bring advancement, developments in your area, improve your land, improve your plight of living, everything. So that is the peace. Don't oppose them, don't go against them. If they go against them, there is a sign. They have signed the treaty, commission, law, isn't it? So nowhere he can try to do that. So this is the end of the Gentleman of the Jungle. Dear students, you have taken almost 3 hours or 3 periods to complete this a short lesson. I think I am more brief in dealing with the lesson here. If you read it once, okay, calmly, okay, understand, and if you have any doubts or queries, write it down and write a date on the pay book and bring those things to the college when we are going to have our regular classes. Maybe shortly we may have that chance of conducting regular classes, live classes in the classroom itself. Okay, read it, then come up with your doubts into the college, then we will have this. Okay, I think you will get my number. So yes, I am Demappa, dealing with the English here. So you can collect my number and you can WhatsApp me any doubt, any question if you have on any part of the lesson here. Yes, and tomorrow maybe I am going to give the allotment of marks or the distribution of marks to this lesson, and then we will begin with a new unit from your syllabus. Thank you one and all. Have a nice day.